Hey Cohere team, this is Ron with Team Techronic, and I'm talking about our project that we built out for this hackathon. What I'm going to show you and what you're actually seeing right now in the screen recording is the actual application running. So what you see here is entirely in the browser. It uses your WebRTC framework to capture your video. You can put your content in the background as a slide, and you also see this live transcription in here in the bottom. The live transcription is a service from Rev AI. It's capturing the audio through the browser, and it's pumping into our application. Our application then takes the transcript, uses the Cohere generate to get the keywords. It takes the keywords and searches Wikipedia. We take the top result from Wikipedia and use Cohere embed to compare the subheadings of the Wikipedia article to the keywords that we extracted with Cohere generate. We then take the body of the text from the Wikipedia article, pass it to Cohere generate. We tell Cohere generate to give us an interesting summary, and that's what you see here in these little pop-ups. These are messages from the Cohere API. You can see they're sort of phrased in a way that's designed to be more engaging with the did you know. Some of them have extra exclamations towards the end, and we present it in a way that's friendly to the user. So hopefully, as I was talking, some of these messages popped up are actually interesting to you, related to what I was talking about. Obviously, this is a proof of a concept. We can fine tune the prompt a little bit, but as I've been using it, I've actually found some of the messages to be pretty interesting, even if they're not 100% related. A lot of times they're close enough to where it's something you would want to talk about, in your lecture, or someone viewing it could help read something there that is anchoring what you're talking about to the lecture. So it's been a pretty cool project to work on. The idea for the project sort of came from the fact that there were many articles in the news recently that I'm sure you've seen where students were not learning well, especially K-12 with online learning. Professors as well had weeks to come up with new lectures that were suited for online versus in person, and they just didn't work well. So the idea was that the AI could take your existing content that you're lecturing with and try to make it more interesting, try to give you something more to the learner, something more to work with. Another aspect of it, since we are doing all of this in real time, we can actually filter these messages to be specific to each user. So there's obviously some challenges with that as far as the API functionality, but I think we're really close there with the technology. Looking at the flow graph here, this all happens, currently would happen for every single user. Certain things could be done only once and cached on the server. You can actually cache all of these responses and seed them out to all users, so every user sees the same thing. But I think an even cooler application is doing the summary per user. So if you know one specific student really likes football, you could tell Cohere to make their keywords more geared towards football. So you would that student would see messages related to football and whatever the content of the lecture is about, and that could give them a really good way to ground what they're learning in a lecture to something they're really interested in. And you can see, as I was talking about students in football, a message here telling me about the NCAA's prerequisites for college athletes. So if I was interested in sports, that could be something really cool for me, and I can give this an upvote here, and this would train the Cohere classifier that these are the types of messages that I want to see, and I can downvote and say I don't really like these messages. So full disclosure, the classify functionality is mocked up in the GUI, but that's not fully implemented in the backend yet. But I think you can see how that would really work here. But we are fully using the Rev AI labs to do the transcription, and then Cohere to do the generate and embed, and a couple cycles of generate. Let's see. Yeah, that's an overview of our different topics. So yeah, that's basically the gist of the hackathon project. The majority of this was built out for this hackathon. I started to work on it for the hackathon 1 and 2, but it wasn't fully able to get everything deployed out there. So here's a nice quip about AI. It's superhuman results in many games, so that's really interesting. I'll give that one an upvote here to work. Another cool aspect of our project is this is all built out in the web browser. Nothing has to be installed by the user. All the compositing and everything else is done browser side. But anyway, thank you, LabLab and Cohere team. Looking forward to hearing from you guys some more.